Hello, welcome to Lackluster Actions. I'm the Lackluster Actor, here today for what is likely going to be the final episode of your Forma. Last week we confirmed who is the Nightmare of St. Petersburg, which was the former chief, who was doing it for the art. And this week we're going to have to stop Harold from shooting him. With that said, let's get started. So, this is the last episode. Is everyone guessing the chances of us not buffering this week is going to be? But either way, so we found out who the perpetrator is last week. We also found that, yes, the one officer who was moved to the cleaners was also involved somehow. How he was convinced to be the nightmare when he wasn't the nightmare and was reluctant to kill anyone is a question, but we'll see if we actually deal with that, or we more importantly deal with the big thing, which is that at this moment, with Harold holding a gun and obviously shooting people, the fact that he has free will is kind of out of the bag and something that the two need to discuss among each other, or at the very least acknowledge, even if they don't share it with people. But if they don't, then the nightmare certainly is going to try to. Let's see. But yeah, that's the big conflict we have going into this episode. So, thankfully it didn't buff at all. But either way, let's see how this goes. Dawn of the Nightmare. Yes. This is probably not the time to bring it up out loud, but yeah, sure. That's what you were thinking. You need to give him reason to stay. You can't just say you can't. Where's that hit? And I love it's doing this in the brain dive way. That's not going anywhere near. Yeah. Oh, I thought she was gonna hit no, Naplov. But no. You see that? Time to finally talk. Oh, I lose both that music and the dive music, unfortunately. Though crying in the rain is nice and south. Don't talk about Dahlia. Talk about yourself. That's not how this works. You're making her lose someone else important to her isn't gonna help her move on. Yeah, you can cry. How does it feel? And you found them. Salzon doesn't ask that. Salzon didn't ask that. You've done enough. I don't 100% trust that they're doing this right here while they, again, no one is tied up the killer. Yeah. I like that they compared it to the brain diving because they were doing it through a touch of hot. That's your atonement. And one last time we get dive music. That would have been great if we got more of this. This is the amazing part of the show. I like the all the mysteries we had and stuff along those lines, but this is well done. Yeah, that's about what you get with serial killers. Better than Sosa's murder. Okay, so he was bringing people in order to fulfill his friend's bloodlust. Wait, why are we diving in his brains if he still have Steuben? Right. He did not kill Sosan. Right. So what I'm getting from that, he did not kill Sosan, and it was Steuben who did in order to try to. Yeah. Interesting. What what does that tell us though? And we still haven't ruled out that it wasn't Steuben who did it. Resting. That's right. Pretend you don't know anything, right? A new scarf. Good to see that's fixed. At the moment, she's kind of all over with her problems, so. Yep. I too am a fan of the color green. No. No. No, found out. I don't recall having more human-like emotions being a victim, but Again, again, you say that. Notice the scarf. Of course he is. Now we're just going to do one last brain dive before we get into any credits. I can already tell you that, but didn't even give us the good music. So that is looking like where we're calling it. I don't think we're going to get more episodes since that looks, especially with the extra scene at the end, looks pretty end of season ish. So, but yeah, in the end, we didn't solve everything. We still have an open thread to the actual killer of Sozan, as well as, well, their relationship is just fine at the moment. Don't have not at a rocky part of the typical drama ups and downs of the in shows, but now it's out that they both know that Harold knows is not bound by the three laws and knows he's not bound by the three laws. So it'd be interesting to see more of these mysteries going forward. Though again, we're continuing to question about every now and then not properly tying people up or tying them down or stuff along those lines. But I guess as the plot demands. But either way, that is going to be it. It looks like. As so, that's it for this season shows. Starting to get into next season, just a small announcement for anyone who's watching. I'm going to be out all next week, so whatever I do pick for next season show, I'm probably gonna pick over the 4th and then announce it as soon as I get back. Probably right before I watch and post the first episode as well. So, but either way, that's it for today. So, thank you everyone who stopped and watched this episode with me. I hope you all have a good week. And I look forward to whatever I pick for next season's show, and hope all of you will come by and watch on with me as well. Until then, take care.